Hello dear fans. How to tell an ordinary stone from a meteorite. A meteorite can be distinguished from an ordinary stone right on the spot. According to the law, a meteorite is equated to a treasure and the one who finds it receives a reward. Instead of a meteorite, there may be other natural wonders, a geode or an iron nugget, even more valuable. This article describes how to determine right at the place of the find: a simple cobblestone in front of you, a meteorite or other natural rarity from those mentioned later in the text. From instruments and tools, you will need paper, a pencil, a strong, at least 8x, magnifying glass and a compass, preferably a good camera and a GSM navigator. Also a small garden or sapper shovel. No chemicals or a hammer and chisel are required, but a plastic bag and soft packing material are required. What is the essence of the method? Meteorites and their imitators are of great scientific value and are equated to treasures by the legislation of the Russian Federation. The finder, after being evaluated by experts, receives a reward. However, if a find was subjected to chemical, mechanical, thermal and other unauthorized influences before being delivered to a scientific institution, its value sharply, several times and tens of times, decreases. For scientists, the rarest sintered minerals on the surface of the sample and its interior, preserved in its original form, may be of greater importance. Treasure hunters dash predators, independently cleaning the find to a marketable appearance and breaking it into souvenirs, not only harm science, but also deprive themselves a lot. Therefore, the following describes how to get over 95% confidence in the value of what you find without even touching it. External signs. Meteorites fly into the Earth's atmosphere at a speed of 11 to 72 km/s. At the same time, they are melted. The first sign of the extraterrestrial origin of the find is the melting crust, which differs in color and texture from the interior. But in ironstone and stone meteorites of different types, the melting crust is different. Small iron meteorites completely acquire a streamlined or ogival shape, somewhat reminiscent of a bullet or an artillery shell, POS. 1 in the figure. In any case, the surface of the suspicious stone is smoothed, as if sculpted from plasticine, POS. 2. If the sample also has a bizarre shape, item 3, then it may turn out to be both a meteorite and a piece of native iron, which is even more valuable. Fresh melting bark is bluish-black, POS 1, 2, 3, 7, 9. In an iron meteorite that has lain in the ground for a long time, it oxidizes over time and changes color, POS 4 and 5, and in an ironstone meteorite it can become similar to ordinary rust, POS 6. This often misleads the seekers, especially since the melting relief of the ironstone meteorite, which has flown into the atmosphere at a speed close to the minimum, can be weakly expressed, POS 6. In this case, the compass will help out. Bring it to the sample. If the arrow points to a rock, then it is most likely an iron-containing meteorite. Iron nuggets also magnet, but they are extremely rare and do not rust at all. In stone and ironstone meteorites, the melting crust is heterogeneous, but in its fragments, with the naked eye, some elongation in one direction is visible, POS 7. Stone meteorites often crack in flight. If the destruction occurred at the final stage of the trajectory, their fragments, which do not have a melting crust, may fall to the ground. However, in this case, their internal structure is exposed, which is not similar to any terrestrial minerals, POS 8. If the sample has a chip, then it is possible to determine whether it is a meteorite or not at mid-latitudes at a glance. The melting crust differs sharply from the interior, POS 9. Exactly the origin of the crust will be shown by viewing under a magnifying glass. If a streaky pattern is visible on the crust, POS 10, and on the cleavage there are so-called organized elements, POS 11, then this is most likely a meteorite. In the desert, the so-called desert tan of the stone can be misleading. Also, in deserts, wind and temperature erosion is strong, due to which the edges of ordinary stone can be smoothed out. In a meteorite, the influence of the desert climate can smooth out the streaky pattern, and the desert tan can tighten the cleavage. In the tropical zone, external influences on rocks are so strong that meteorites on the surface of the ground soon become difficult to distinguish from simple stones. In such cases, an approximate determination of their specific gravity after removal from the bed can help to gain confidence in the find. Documenting and seizure. In order for a find to retain its value, its location must be documented prior to seizure. For this, by GSM, if there is a navigator, we determine and write down geographic coordinates. We photograph from different angles, from afar and close, in different angles, as the photographers say, trying to capture in the frame everything remarkable near the sample. For scale, next to the find, we put a ruler or an object of a known size, lens cap, matchbox, tin can, etc. We draw crocs, plan diagram of the place of discovery without a scale, indicating the compass azimuths to the nearest landmarks, settlements, geodetic signs, noticeable heights, etc., with an eye estimate of the distance to them. Now you can proceed with the withdrawal. First, we dig a trench to the side of the stone and watch how the type of soil changes along its length. The find must be removed along with the drip around it, and in any case in the soil layer of at least 20 mm. Often, scientists value chemical changes around a meteorite more than it does. Having carefully dug it out, put the sample in a bag and estimate its weight with your hand. Light elements and volatile compounds are swept out of meteorites in space, therefore their specific gravity is greater than that of terrestrial rocks. For comparison, you can dig up and weigh a cobblestone of a similar size on your hands. A meteorite even in the soil layer will be much heavier. What if it's a geode? Geodes, crystallization nests in terrestrial rocks, often look like meteorites that have lain in the ground for a long time. The geode is hollow, so it will be lighter than even an ordinary stone. But don't be discouraged, you are just as lucky. Inside the geode is a nest of natural piezoquartz, and often of precious stones, Pos 12. Therefore, geodes and iron nuggets are also equated with hoards. But you should never split an object suspicious of a geode. In addition to the fact that at the same time it will be much devalued, the illegal sale of gems entails criminal liability. The geode must be delivered to the same facility as the meteorite. If its content is of jewelry value, the finder, according to the law, is entitled to an appropriate reward. Where to carry? It is necessary to deliver the find to the nearest scientific institution, at least to the local history museum. You can also go to the police. The Charter of the Ministry of Internal Affairs provides for such a case. If the find is too difficult, or the scientists and police officers are not very far away, it is better not to seize at all, but to call one or the other. This does not diminish the rights of the finder, it does not diminish the reward, but the value of the find increases. If you still have to transport yourself, the sample must be provided with a label. In it, you need to indicate the exact time and place of discovery, all essential, in your opinion, circumstances of the discovery, your name, time and place of birth and address of permanent residence. Crocs and, if possible, photographs are attached to the label. If the camera is digital, then the files from it are downloaded to the media without any processing. It is better in general in addition to the computer, directly from the camera to the USB flash drive. For transportation, the sample in a bag is wrapped with cotton wool, padding polyester, or other soft pad. It is also advisable to place it in a sturdy wooden box, securing it against displacement during transportation. Independently, in any case, you need to deliver only to the place where qualified specialists can arrive. Thanks for watching.